A Florida woman accused of murdering her boyfriend by leaving him to die inside a suitcase during a supposed game of hide and seek is once again voicing her frustration from inside a jail cell. Sarah Boone, the woman accused of murdering her boyfriend Jorge Torres by zipping him up in a suitcase where he suffocated to death, continues to demand access to evidence ahead of her high-profile trial. Ahead of Boone's trial, she has gone through several court-appointed lawyers who have all asked to remove themselves from her case, and lawyer number 8 is seemingly no different. On June 11th, Boone's attorney Patricia Cashman filed a motion to withdraw, citing irreconcilable differences. But about 4 days prior to Cashman filing that motion, Boone herself, in a move that she's no stranger to, would write a nearly 60-page letter to the judge expressing her frustration with Cashman. On page 1 of the 58-page letter, Boone wrote down several instances of her not getting access to documents and evidence. Some include, "Why can't I use my constitutional rights? Am I the only one who cares about the ongoing violations? Why can't I have bond? Why can't I have all my medical records? Why can't I have all my digital evidence and discovery? Why can't I have all my paperwork, notes, letters, pictures, everything of mine returned by former attorneys? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have any of my witness list? Why can't I be treated fairly, lawfully, and be protected by the justice system?" Then Boone writes about her attorney, adding another list of instances where she seemingly believes her lawyer isn't doing enough. Boone writing, "Why can't my attorney give me an honest answer? Why can't my attorney show me everything she says she has and finished reviewing for my case, but withholds from me after I repeatedly ask for and about? Why can't my attorney grant me access to anything I ask her for in and about my case? Why can't my attorney, like the detectives in my case, stop putting words in my mouth? Why can't my attorney tell me what's going on in my case? It's been well over 100 days she has been my attorney, and I still don't know, ongoing 5 years." By page 5, Boone asked the judge, "I very much want to advance to the next level after ongoing 5 years now. A genuine concern limit has been reached. Why am I still not being included in my case? How much more of my care and self is being added hourly, especially after this letter gets loose to the internet, increasing the mass infliction and destruction of my homes to have a fair trial? Anything fair, my side foremost, and wondering how, if my attorney drank the punch like everyone else." Boone even admitted to walking out of meetings with her attorney due to what Boone called unwarranted, uninformative, unprofessional, snotty attitude and her untruthful answers to her questions and beyond. I just want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's Law&Crime YouTube takeover. If you've seen our videos, you know Morgan & Morgan is a proud sponsor of Law&Crime, and our content proves the world isn't always safe. When you're hurt, it can be confusing and scary, especially if you don't know where to turn. Well, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, can help. They're the largest injury law firm because they win a lot. Morgan & Morgan recently received verdicts of $12.2 million in Florida, $26.2 million in Philly, and $6.8 million right here in New York. Also, there's a $0 upfront fee. You only pay them if you win. So if you've been injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can also submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without having to leave your couch. So you can start your claim at www.forthepeople.com/YouTube takeover. Later in the letter, Boone remains adamant she's not the problem, writing she should be treated fairly with respect and that she's been acting more professional than the paid "I've been doing this for over 40 years" professional. As Boone has cycled through 7 lawyers since her case began, she wrote in the letter, "I have not fired any attorneys appointed in my case," adding, "Representing myself is not an option, as both judges have now threatened me with, from being outspoken and intelligent in all my observations of the ongoing abuse I am and have experienced." The letter then keeps taking a bizarre turn when she includes a glossary of legal definitions, including notice of discovery, prosecutor's discovery obligation, restricting disclosure, sanctions, then goes into the Declaration of Independence preamble, as well as the Florida Constitution. About 3/4 into the letter, Boone wrote about the public interest in her case with a map of the United States, as she made a star on each state where she's received a letter or a message about her case. The stars can be seen in Washington, California, Colorado, Idaho, Arizona, South Dakota, Kansas, Texas, Missouri, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Georgia, Florida, and more. She writes the number grows daily as she adds, I, the defendant in my case, have not yet ongoing 5 years fully reviewed or even seen all of my case details. Everyone in the world has already had the opportunity to do so themselves. Then writes, the continuations of the obvious exploitation allows the world to keep pressing their incorrect, presumed unfair theories, ideas, accusations, forcibly insinuating I committed criminal acts. Boon's trial has been pushed back several times, in part due to the constant withdrawals of attorneys.
Judge, the letters that have been coming to Your Honor, the derogatory berating of my services in this case, I can't effectively represent her. She doesn't trust me. She calls me a dud, I think, a buffoon, on and on and on and on. And no one should have to endure that type of derogatory comments and expect to effectively represent someone, especially in a murder case.
And the previous judge overseeing her case previously said in court, Boone's attorneys might not be the problem.
But one thing I want to caution you about, if this becomes a problem on another court-appointed attorney, I'm going to look more closely at what the alleged disputes are. You have a right to a court-appointed lawyer. There are certain decisions a defendant gets to make in the defense of their case that are absolutely theirs, such as whether they go to trial or not, such as whether they testify or not. But there are many decisions in a case that a lawyer gets to make. And while you certainly have a right to consult with your lawyer and discuss with your lawyer, they don't automatically just do whatever you say. They use their professional judgment and experience and look at the evidence, look at the law, and do the best they can.
But it'll be up to another judge to oversee Boone's case, as Judge Michael Kraynick has taken over the case from Judge Wayne Wooten, who Boone previously wrote a number of letters to in the past. Boone has been behind bars since her arrest in February of 2020, charged with the heinous death of her boyfriend Jorge Torres. He was found lifeless inside a suitcase at the couple's apartment. The gruesome death was captured on video taken by Boone herself, showing the chilling final moments of Torres's life as he cried to be freed from inside the suitcase.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Investigators say the video showed the suitcase facing downward. However, a second video shows the suitcase in a different position, suggesting it had been moved.
Sarah.
Court records later reveal Boone and Torres were painting pictures and completing a puzzle while sharing wine when they decided to play a game of hide and seek. Boone would later tell police once they responded to the scene, she assumed Torres would be able to get out, so instead she went to bed, later finding him the next morning lifeless, still zipped up inside the suitcase.
I fell asleep, forgetting that he was in the
So you guys
suitcase.
were playing the hide and go
Yes.
seek, and at some point you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So
Okay.
he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right
You
where
got
it
in
is.
it, right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there?
Yes.
Thought he would be funny, a little
It
joke?
was. We both were laughing about it.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep
Where did you fall asleep at?
upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay,
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
okay. And then you came back downstairs?
This morning, or this
around
afternoon, yes, when I got up.
ballpark, what time?
12:30-ish. I was awake, but I totally forgot that he was in the suitcase.
But that alleged fatal mistake would end with Boone's boyfriend dead. During Boone's police interrogation, she denied zipping the suitcase entirely, despite video evidence showing investigators the opposite.
And you also, in the video, you can't see any holes. There's nowhere in that where the zipper separates and you can see a hole. If there's a hole, he's pushing on it, begging you to get out. We should probably see that hole that
He
you're
essentially
talking
would have
about.
been able to get out.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Based off what you're telling us, he should have
Yes.
been able to get out.
Okay.
But the video shows him attempting to get out, begging to get out, and he can't. So that's just what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if maybe you had too much to drink, you zipped it up all the way, and then, you know...
I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay, well,
I did not zip it up all the way. This is horrific, okay? Horrific.
it is terrible.
Yeah, somebody left the door.
Horrific. I don't think I'll ever be right because of this. Ever be right. I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got up and walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem. Because you
And
don't...
then he doesn't,
but
but you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
You even moved,
And
I
dozed
mean,
off.
you admit to moving the suitcase, like, over. So
You roll it.
You roll it over, like, it's not like...
I didn't want him to be like that. Don't...
You didn't want him to be upside down? How do you even get upside down?
Right. You guys are killing me right now.
According to an autopsy report, the medical examiner noted multiple injuries to Torres's body. He had long nail scratches on his back and neck, contusions on his shoulder, skull, and forehead, considered as blunt force trauma. Boone was adamant to police she did not mean for Torres to die.
I promise you, on my son's life, it was not intentional. I promise you, on Lucas's life, it was not intentional.
I don't know you. I can't say I know anything about you. I don't know what would be a true statement, what would not. I mean, you're promising on your son's life, that's fine.
That's how much it means.
Sorry.
That's how much it, look, that's how much it means.
Okay.
I hope you take that to heart.
Now, 4 years later and 7 attorneys later, Boone is still behind bars, with her trial now slated for October. In a stunning move, Sarah Boone forfeited her right to counsel. So now lawyer number 9 is going to be Sarah Boone herself, as the judge granted her former attorney's motion to withdraw. Boone's trial is slated still for October 7th of this year. Reporting for Law&Crime, I'm Elizabeth Millner.